Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on today's webinar, where we're looking at Microsoft Word today. For anyone who's joining us for the first time, you can ask questions using the panel on the right-hand side of your screen. And you can also see featured content in there. So for anyone who might be experiencing some technical issues, you can follow the link in that tab and it should give you some advice on how to solve them. So today we're looking at Microsoft Word. And I'm going to try and cover off 7 topics today. So we'll look at the navigation pane, the tab button, select similar formatting, different formatting options, headers and footers, page breaks, and how to change from landscape to portrait. So first off, we'll look at the navigation pane. So I'll just jump into Word to show you this one. So this is just a sample document that I pulled off the internet, just a terms and conditions thing. But it's quite a lengthy document. There's 9 pages in it, a lot of text. So an easy way to navigate through the document is using the navigation pane. So if you come up to View on the ribbon and just tick the little box here beside navigation pane, and you'll see this little panel appear on the left-hand side of the screen. And this panel lists all the headings that I have in my document. So I can quickly jump from page to page through the different content. And it's a quick way of navigating through a document that can be quite lengthy. So it really just shows the importance of actually formatting your document correctly by using different heading formats. You can quickly just change your headings by selecting the text, coming back to the Home tab, and selecting the different types of headings that you want on your document. So there's loads of different preset headings there for you that you can choose from. So you can see these options here are all heading 1s. These are heading 2s because they're indented. If you had a heading 3, it'd become indented here as well, and you'd see it on the list. So when you're working with large Word documents, it's just a handy way of moving through the page. Next thing we're looking at is the tab button. Now the tab button's on your keyboard. You'll always find it just above the cap locks button. So sometimes it'll have tab written on it, sometimes it'll just have the little arrows here on the button, but it's, like I say, it's always above your caps lock. So you'll find it there on your keyboard. And what this button does, it allows you to align text in your Word document very easily. So I'll just look here. You can see here I have a heading, my title and my description. I have subheadings down here on the left-hand side, and I have explanations on the right, but they're not all aligned properly for me. Now I could use the backspace and try and fix them up, but that can take time and it's not always perfect. So the tab button allows you to align all of these correctly. Now before I show you the tab button, just something to remember when you're formatting Microsoft Word is if you click on this little ampersand button, which is on the Home ribbon, it brings up these little symbols throughout your document, which shows how it's all formatted, and it shows just little hidden stuff. It's a really handy little thing to turn on when you're actually formatting the document. So I can see here that these are all backspaces, and if I put more in, there's little dots here. So I'm going to delete these, and I want to space them out the same as the headers are on the top. So if I click my tab button on my keyboard, I can see this little arrow up here, and it's moving it over in line with the heading on the top. So again, if I delete these here, if I tab over, it aligns them all correctly for me. So it's just a quick way of keeping everything in line so that I can turn this off. You can see they're all neat. They look a lot better than what they did before. And it just gives your document a more professional finish. And something I must say as well is some of the keyboard shortcuts and the search functions and stuff that we went through in earlier webinars, they all work in every Microsoft product. So whether it's Outlook or Word or Excel, your copies, your pastes, your searches, they all work the same way as your keyboard shortcuts for all of them. So you can use the same ones all the time. That's another handy little feature, just like say, to make your document look that bit more professional. The next thing to look at is the select similar formatting option. So again, if you have a big document, maybe you've been working on the document for a while, and throughout it, there's going to be different formattings or different options that you want to tidy up here. You can see all my headings here, they're all heading 1. If I select this text, and I want to select all of the text in the document that has the same formatting as this, I just highlight the text, come to the Home ribbon, up to the Select button here, and go select all text with similar formatting. And it has selected all of my headers here that are all formatted in the same way. And then if I want to change the color font on them, I can easily change that, or if I want to make them a bigger font or whatever, you can change that. And it saves you having to go through each one individually and finding where in the document they are. So again, it just saves you some time when you're working on large documents. The next thing we'll look at here is the formatting. So you can clear the formatting, or you can apply the same formatting easily in Word just using one button. So again, I don't want the formatting on this. I don't like the way it's formatted. I want to change it. I can just highlight the text, come up on the Home ribbon, and I see this little button here, which allows me to clear formatting. So if I select that, I can clear the formatting easily. So especially if you're maybe copying stuff like this, I copied this off the internet, you can just select the full document and you can easily clear the formatting and format it as you want it. If I maybe did it by accident, I want my formatting to go back to the way it was as a header. I select the formatting that I want to copy, come up here to Format Painter, click that button, and you'll see on the screen a little paintbrush appears, and I'm going to paint this one, and it copies it into the exact same formatting as the other one. So if you're not sure of what maybe text it was, what size it was, you know, the spacing and stuff, it all copies all of that. And so your formatting is always matched on all your headings. So another little thing that's useful for helping the user maybe navigate through your document is the headers and footers. So I'll show you here. When you come into the Insert ribbon on the top of your screen, you can see here you have an option for headers and footers. There's default ones there that Microsoft Word suggests for you, so you can use one of them if you want. Or you can create your own one. Another way of getting into the headers and footers is to double click on the top or the bottom of your page. So you can see here on the screen through the little ruler that this one is a dark black and this one is a grey. That little dark black is your header. So if I just double click in here, I can write whatever information I want in here. I close my header and footer. That appears on every page for me. Same if I just double click into my footer, I can add information into my footer here as well. So you'll see once I've double clicked into the header or the footer, I get this little ribbon on the top called Design. And from this ribbon, I can add in, maybe I want to add in my page numbers. Again, there's a default selection that Microsoft Word brings up for you, and you can pick one of those ones if you want. So a handy one for the reader is always the page of how many pages, so page 1 of 9, so at least they know maybe if they're printing out the document or whatever, they should have 9 pages and they know what order they're all in. You can also just change the formatting and everything on that, the same as you would if it was in the main body. And it just helps keep it in order for you. Next I'm going to look at is the page break. So if you want to move text onto another page, so maybe I want my heading to start on a new page, I could just bring it down like that. You can see my numbers actually disappeared, but that's okay, we'll fix that in a minute. But the only problem with this is that if I add more text in my page up here, if I start typing another paragraph, this starts moving down the page all the time. It's going to keep moving down here for me. And then I'm going to have to go back through my document when I'm finished and try to tidy them up. And sometimes this might end up halfway down the page. So instead of just pressing the Enter key to add a new line, what you can do is come to the Layout ribbon, into Breaks, and click Page. And this automatically moves my header down to the next page. So if I start typing here and I move on to the next page, my header isn't going to appear in the middle of this page. It's going to actually move down to its own page again. So it's always going to start on a new page for me. And it just helps keep your document formatted correctly. Okay. The next thing we're looking at is the landscape, or to change from landscape to portrait through the middle of a document. So if you have a page in the middle of your document and you're working in a portrait Word document the way I am here, you can change maybe one page. So say here on my website, selling products, I can see my table has gone off the page. So the table is a bit too wide for this portrait page. So I want to change the page to a landscape page so that I can easily see all the content in my table. If I do this now, the whole document will go into a landscape, which I don't want. I want the rest of the document to be in portrait. So I'm going to use a mix of breaks and the page orientation to do this. So you can see here I have a page break, but I actually need to get rid of that one because for this kind of change, I need to insert a section break. I'm going to delete my page break there. I'm going to come back up to breaks. And instead of going using my page break, I'm going to come down to this option and use a section break. And I want it to start on a new page, so I'm going to say, yeah, insert on the next available page. So you can see here that this is now a section break, not a page break. And it has moved my content down to a new page. But because I only want this one page to be landscape, I don't want the rest of the document starting from page 9 to be landscape. I need to put a section break at the end of the content as well. So again, I'm going to just delete my page break here. I'm going to come back up to the breaks up here. And I'm going to select the same page where I'm going to section break. I'm going to go to next page under my section breaks. And you can see again, I have a section break here. So once you have your 2 section breaks in, like this, click onto the page that you want to change to landscape. Come over to your orientation. select the little drop down arrow under it here and select landscape. Zoom out a little bit here. You can see my page has now gone into a landscape, but the page before it and the page after it are still in portrait. So if you have text or maybe you're inserting an image or something into your Word document and you need the page to go into landscape, it's just handy to have that one page rather than having all of the pages go into a landscape version. And you can do this as many times as you want throughout the document. Just make sure to use your section breaks instead of your page breaks. Okay. Now I know this little function, you can turn this little function to see your formatting on and off, because I know when you're typing, it is a bit annoying to see it. But when you're actually coming to this formatting stage of your document, it's very handy to just have that turned on. So if there's any questions, I'll go through them now. See if there's anything coming in there. I'll just give it a minute. Something else that I'll just go through here. On the follow-up email that I'll send out to everyone after this webinar, you will see I try and keep all the emails in the same format just for convenience. So when you look at the email, you'll have these three little options down in the center of the email. For some people, the pictures might not display correctly. So you can either click on the picture or you can click on the little link here to access the webinar recording. You can click here just to get a download of the slides. And if you have any questions, just click here and you can just send your questions in to me and I'll answer them afterwards. And just when I click on the little button to view a webinar, you'll be brought to this page on our website, and you can view all of the content from all our previous webinars, and I'll add in the videos and the slides as we go on through them every week, just for anyone that might have been looking for that. Also, on the emails I send out to you, at the bottom you'll find an option just to give feedback. You can click this little button here and it'll bring you into a survey. It takes less than 2 minutes to fill in. So I'd be delighted if you could fill that in and just let us know how we're doing. And if you have any suggestions on how we could improve it, please feel free to add them in here as well. Okay, perfect. I just see a question coming in here. How do you add a ghost comment in the background on the page? So I'll just come back into the Word document I have here. Go up to the top. And what you're looking for is the watermark section. So if you come to the design ribbon across the top here and come to the watermark button over here on the right hand side, you'll see a drop down arrow. So you can select some of the default ones that are in the document. Now that might be a bit hard to see on the screen for you there because it's in a very light grey text, but you have ASAP, you have urgent, and there's a draft and confidential. You can select any one that you want, or you can add a custom watermark yourself if you want to as well. You can just type in, you can put in a picture or you can type in text there. If I just select the draft one, that comes across the center of the page here. Now you can see for me it actually didn't, and the reason that is because I copied this from the internet and I didn't clear all the formatting. So when I select, you can kind of see the draft is written in the background, but it's hidden a bit. And I'm just going to clear that there. Yeah. So it's just hiding a little bit on me there. If I started a new document altogether and come to design and select my watermark for me, it's appearing there on the screen. Again, it might be a little bit hard to see for you because the text is very, very faint, but you can see it on the back of the screen. there, and that will print out for you as well. So if you are printing documents or if you're saving them as PDFs or anything, it will print for you as well. So you might be able to see it there. It is in the back of the text anyways, but hopefully you can see that in the document. And yeah, just if you do want to, to go to design, and if you do want to just create your own one, you can just click on the custom, and it allows you to type in whatever you want. You can just press OK, and it'll come up on it for you as well, or you can add a picture. So it's a handy one there. If there is any questions that anyone wants to ask, or if there's a document that you're working on and there's something that you're struggling with, and just let me know, and we'll try and help you as much as possible. And apart from that, thanks for joining us this morning, everyone. I hope you found it useful. Next week, we're looking at the Microsoft OneDrive, and I'll be joined by Declan Cook, our technical consultant here, who will be going through OneDrive with us and getting some tips and everything for it. And sorry, just looking to see if there's more questions. That's no problem. No problem answering that. And then how do you add the picture? I think that's for the watermark again. So when you come to the little drop down arrow here and go to custom, you can tick the little box here for picture. Select the picture that you want. I'm going to select it from my computer, but you can bring one in from the internet, or if you have it on your OneDrive or whatever, you can select that. I'll just select my Microsoft one here and go insert. Press OK. And the picture should appear for you there. Again, it's probably hidden behind my text. If I just create a new document here, it's the worst thing about copying stuff off the internet. It can have some hidden little features, but I'll just select it again here. And what the problem could be, that could be too large of a picture. It might not want to actually show it. I think you can see it very faintly in the document there. It depends, you can design the picture how you want. And see, I'll try and there, it's a bit better when I just untick the washout. But once you start typing over that, you might actually need to put the washout back in, because the text that you're typing over it, you might not be able to see it enough. But you can design the picture how you want. You know, if you want to put a diagonal or anything, you need to just design that on the picture before you bring it into the Word document, because you can't change it once you bring it in. But that's how you do that one there. And that's no problem at all. So yeah, and if there is any more questions, don't be afraid to shout and let me know. And if there's anything that you'd like us to cover in the future, you know, in the next webinar, or if there's anything that we're not covering at all in the webinars and you'd like to see, just let us know, and we'll try and get it covered for you. So thanks a million for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Hi, everyone. Just following up on another question that came in after the webinar was, how can you open a PDF document in Word, or can you open a PDF document in Word? And the answer is yes, for the majority of PDF documents you can. If the person who created the PDF document maybe put a lock on it to stop people editing it or sharing it, it might be a bit more difficult, but I'd say 99% of the time you can open a PDF document in Word. So to do this, you just open a Word document, a new Word document here, go to File, go to Open, and then find wherever you saved your PDF document. So I'm just going to go to my desktop here. I'm going to open this Sophos document that I have. So you can see it's a PDF compared to the other ones that's a Word. But if I click on that, I get this little message that pops up here, just in Word will now convert to PDF to an editable document. That's fine. Just click OK if you want to. You can just tick don't show this message again. That's fine. Click OK. It might just take a few seconds to actually load, but you'll see it come in here to Word, and you can type and edit your document as you please. You'll see you've got pictures and text and everything the way it was, so you can edit away there and make whatever changes you need to make. Then you can save it. If you go to File, Save As, again, I'm just going to save it on my desktop, that's fine. You have the option to save it as a Word document, or you can just click the drop down arrow over here and select to save it as a PDF. So you can save it as a PDF again with whatever changes you made to the document. And just click Save. So change the name slightly and save. And again, it might just take a minute to convert it, but once you've saved it, it'll come back to a PDF document again, and whatever changes you made to the document will be saved there. So it is a handy little thing to know as well. If there is a PDF document you just want to make a few small changes to it, saves you trying to type it all out again or